Prosperity family, how we doing out there? Y'all already know what time it is. Bitcoin Block Willie coming to you once again with an early rising show with coffee and crypto. How we doing out there? How we doing out there? If you can, please let me know how my audio is. Please let me know how my audio is. Let me know if it's coming through clear on both YouTube and IG. Let me know if my audio is coming through clear on both YouTube and IG, please. Let me know, let me know, let me know. What do you know? What do you know? Let me see. Is everything up there? Should be. Right, this one. There we go. Here we go. Here's what we're missing. Hold on. Here's what we're missing.
Go crazy.
There we go. There we go. Let me know how my audio is on YouTube now. Let me know how my audio is now on YouTube. Yeah, there we go. It should be way better now. It should be way better now on YouTube. Let me know how it sounds. Let me know how it sounds. Clear on IG? Yeah. Okay, much better? Yeah, I had to plug the mic. I didn't even know the microphone wasn't plugged in. My apologies, family. How's everybody doing out there? How's everybody doing out there? It is June 10th, I believe. Today's the 10th, right? Am I wrong? Yep, June 10th, Tuesday. Everybody's here for another show of Coffee and Crypto Tech Money Tuesday. As we see the market decide to make a move north, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of stories, staying updated with current news. And we are going to dive into the charts to see what is the next move for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and if time permits, we may be able to look at a couple of altcoins. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in, that's tapping in. If we can, let's go ahead and get a roll call going real quick. Let me see where you tapping in, where you tuning in, where you taking notes from. Let me know where everybody's checking in from. Y'all already know I'm in the Windy City, Chi-Town, what they now call the Rack. Checking in live, Southside. Let me see where you checking in from, everybody. You know where you checking in from. Quick roll call and we get the party started. We can see Bitcoin taking a move north, 109,000, Ethereum back up to 2,700. We got Cleveland, Ohio in the house. We got B-More in the house. What's going on? We got Canada in the house. Peace, peace, peace. Big shout out to Canada. Okay, we got Decatur, Georgia in the house, but originally from Chi-Town. What's going on? East St. Louis is in the building. Pittsburgh is in the building. We got Jersey in the house. Dirty Jersey. What's going on? What's going on? Oakland, California. We got Detroit in the house. Arizona is in the house. You know where y'all checking in from. You know where y'all getting this information and bringing it back to. Let me know where y'all picking up this information and bringing it back to. We got Knoxville, Tennessee checking in. North Carolina is in the building. BK to GA, what's going on, William Mack? I'll be in Iraq in 4 days. Then you flying out to the Dominican Republic. Safe travels, my friend. Safe travels. So we're doing a quick roll call. CT, is that Connecticut? We got Connecticut in the building. If I'm correct, please, Palm Beach, Florida's in the building. Florida's in the building. We got Florida in the building. Park City, Utah's in the building. Wham, what's going on? Peace, peace, peace. I already know you checking in from GA. All right, I think we're getting through a majority of the check-in. Healthy Wealthy, what's going on, big homie? How's everything going on your side? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. We got Bitcoin coming in at 109,000, right? What we're trying to do, or did we do? Let's take a look real quick. Hold on. Did Bitcoin break its most previous high? Not yet. Let me see. Nope, not yet. We're actually making a lower high than our previous high. Right now, right? Most previous high was 100. What is that? 112,000. Damn, to the T on Coinbase. $112,000 to the T on Coinbase. Look at that. Not a penny more. 112,000 even was the most previous high. So right now we're making a lower high than our most previous high, right? Making a lower high. Starting to see a little bit of sell-off. But nonetheless, Bitcoin is moving strong. We also have Strategy buying another 1,045 Bitcoin for $110 million in its latest purchase. 110, latest purchase. I hope you all have been following the strategy that was laid out a couple of lives ago, the We Buy Like Mike strategy. We got something big coming for those that would like to team up and attack this strategy together. We do have something coming up. For those that are interested in being part of that strategy, reach out, Block Wall Street Work at proton.me. That's Block Wall Street Work at proton.me. I usually use crypto or index. I appreciate you checking in, bro. Core Training Performance. I appreciate you checking in. Thanks for appreciating the information. All right. We also have BlackRock ETH accumulation, because BlackRock did purchase X amount of ETH, and we are going to be taking a look into that. Remember, Bitcoin and Ethereum are the top 2 cryptocurrencies. Never forget that. Let's real quick go to CoinGecko. Let's go to CoinGecko real quick so we can take a look. Now, as y'all can see, top 2 cryptocurrencies in the world, right? Top 2 in the world, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Top 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, excluding USDT, because this is nothing more than a US dollar derivative to operate within the greater ecosystem of the blockchain. So top 3 currencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. But right now we're focused on Bitcoin and Ethereum. All right, Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's what we focused on right now. Okay, these are the top 2. These are the creme. What is it? Creme de la creme? Creme de la creme? Forgot how you say it. But y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. So MicroStrategy buying X amount of Bitcoin. BlackRock buying X amount of Ethereum. How are your Bitcoin and your Ethereum bags looking? Are you pushing all your money towards meme coins or altcoins, missing the top 2? Right? Or are you securing the top 2 first? Right? Leveraging by issuing credit against the top 2 and then investing in the alts, which I think is the more strategic and advanced strategy to take. If you're holding Bitcoin and ETH out there right now, let me see by a show of hands. Who is actually and currently holding Bitcoin and Ethereum? Show of hands. Let me see where my supporters at. Let me see where my blockchain supporters are at. Who's got a bag of BTC and ETH? Let me see where my real supporters are. While we wait for this breakdown to come in. Okay, I see him coming in.
Hands up. I like this.
I said I did, but then I switched to XMR. Now, see, this why I was explaining the strategy that I had earlier, right? Whereas you shouldn't have had to have switched out. What you should have done, not should have, let me not put it like that. But another option, right, which would give you more bang for your buck in all actuality, you could have continued to hold your Bitcoin and Ethereum, took out a credit loan against them, and then still went and bought your XMR. You know what I mean? That way you get the best of all 3 worlds. You know what I'm saying? You get the best of all 3 worlds. You said, is it surprising that USDT is ahead of XRP? Nah, because they're dollars. Absolutely not. I don't see anything strange with it. Let's get into the first story. I'm talking about Michael Saylor here. Strategy. Originally, MicroStrategy. 1,045 Bitcoin for $110 million. Now, something that we stated earlier, right, was that, hey, what's going on, Brian? What's the word, big homie? Come slide on me. I need some help putting this garden together. I know you got the green thumb. I'm trying to put a flower bed in the front, and I'm trying to put a garden with the veggies in the back. But I need some assistance. I already started tilling the land or whatever. Hey, text me, Brian. When you get a chance, text my phone, bro. I need to get up with you. Anyways, Strategy has acquired another 1,045 Bitcoin for $110.2 million as part of its ongoing accumulation strategy, bringing its total holdings to 580. Now, something that we often talk about on this channel, right? How many of you out there are currently How many of you out there are currently building a strategic family Bitcoin reserve? By a show of hands. How many of us are out there building a strategic family Bitcoin reserve? By a show of hands. By a show of hands. Before we move on with this article. By a show of hands, who out there building that strategic family Bitcoin reserve? It's no different than the family accumulating gold in the days of old. No different. D-Love Man, my man. Damn good move. Best move you can make. Remember, y'all, this is a generational play. People look at this as just a money play. This ain't got shit to do with a money play. This is a generational life-changing play. This is not a money play. Not, oh, we can make some money. This ain't that, yo. This ain't that. This is something that your children, your children's children, possibly even your children's children will be able to benefit from. You know what I mean? In my opinion, this is something that when we look at the long-term expectation, always how Michael Saylor looks at it. This is an accumulation that should never end. This is an accumulation that should never end. Loach, what's the word, big homie? What's the word? Hey, tap in today if you can. Tap in today if you can. Slide on me maybe sometime after around 5 p.m. Nah, you ain't late to the party. We just started the live. We ain't even covered the first story yet. We're talking about MicroStrategy adding 1,045 Bitcoin to his strategic reserve. And I'm asking the people, because one thing we talk about here is building a strategic family Bitcoin reserve, right? Remember, let me put this out there so everybody understands my stance on the space, right? I'm not a Bitcoin maxi in any way, shape, or form. I play the altcoin game. But much like, back in the day, right? You could have been growing crops. You could have been selling pelts. You could have been a hunter. But at the end of the day, everything that you did, all that time and energy was put into gold, right? That was your main storage of wealth, gold. So what I'm looking at Bitcoin right now is in the same fashion. To whereas everything that I'm looking at, right? Everything that I'm looking at is in a sense of this is for a gold hoarding position, right? Bitcoin being that gold. Bitcoin being that gold, right? So if I'm looking at Bitcoin as being the new gold, then I want to be able to acquire as much BTC as possible. I want to be able to acquire as much BTC as possible. You know what I'm saying? So when we look at the direction that we're headed in, and what I think is a future built on the back of Bitcoin, every other altcoin, right? Every other altcoin is a vehicle for me to get more Bitcoin, and that's how I look at it. Handsome Life Changer said, would it be wise to put at least $100 a month into Bitcoin? It would not, in my opinion, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. But in my opinion, it would not be a bad idea. Let's actually crunch some numbers real quick. Let's crunch some numbers real quick. Let's take a look at what are we looking for here? What are we looking for here? Here we go. This is what we're looking for right here. Let's crunch some numbers, my friend. Let's crunch some numbers. Let's say that you would have used this strategy 2019, right? And let's just say $100 a month. Let's just say $100 a month, right? Let's crunch this number real quick. Let's say $100 a month. Hold on. There we go. All right. So let's say $100 a month into Bitcoin, right? Just $100. And this is from December 2019 to April 2025. Your total purchase amount would be $6,500, which would now be worth $25,000, right? Or the way you would look at it is you were able to accumulate $26,628,000 Satoshi. You know what I'm saying? So if you were using that strategy from back then until now, this would be the result of nothing more than $100 a month. Which, you know, not too bad. Not what's that? What's that? $25 a week, if I'm not mistaken. That's $25 a week, right? Not too bad in my humble opinion. So now, let's get back to the strategy. Because on the state, the strategy has acquired $110.2 million worth of Bitcoin as the price trades near its all-time high levels. According to a Monday U.S. Securities and Exchange filing, Strategy acquired 1,045 Bitcoin at an average price of $105. So that average buying price was about $105,000, $426,000 per coin. The company now holds 582,000 BTC acquired for about $40.8 billion at an average price of $70,000 per Bitcoin. So right now, for MicroStrategy to be underwater with their $40.8 billion worth of Bitcoin, it would have to retrace below $70,000. So one could look at it and say that in a sense that 70K is kind of that floor, right? One could say 70K is kind of the floor, right? It goes on to state that the announcement follows strategy co-founder and executive chairman Michael Saylor hinting at the purchase on June 8th. The buy marks the 9th consecutive week the strategy has acquired Bitcoin. News of the latest purchase comes as Bitcoin approaches its all-time high. According to CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin traded at 107,640 at the time of writing, just 3.9% lower than the all-time high of 112,000 reported in May. Okay. Now, for those that are following the We Buy Like Mike strategy, let's see what some dimensions, right, or divisions of what they bought would be for us. So they bought 1,045 Bitcoin, right? So what we could say, they bought 1,045 Bitcoin. Okay. So now what we could go in and say is, well, what if we were to buy 0.1 thousand? Right? So that'd be 104. What would that be? No, 10,450,000 Satoshis. As of right now, for you to get 10 million sats, remember, Bitcoin ain't nothing but 100 million sats. For you to get 10 million right now, which is going to be big bucks in the future, right? For you to get 10 million right now, it's $11,000. Now, for you to get 1 million Satoshis, 1 million, right? 1 million Satoshis is $1,139 just for a million sats. Y'all got to understand how this breakdown works. You got to understand the whole Satoshi game, right? You get the million Satoshis right now for a little over a stack. You get what I'm saying? Now, if we look at buying 104,000 Satoshis, you can get 104,000 sats right now for 113 bucks. We're roughly $114, right? Now, you know what I want to look at? Let's do some math. Let's do some math real quick. Let me show y'all something real quick. Let's do some math, right? Let's look at this, right? Hold on. Where we at? There we go. Let's crunch some numbers real quick. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back in time. Okay? Let's go to my videos. Let's go back in time. So this is me showing individuals how to use a Bitcoin ATM machine, right? Showing individuals how to use a Bitcoin ATM back in 2017, okay? Right, this the old school me. This is where it all began at. It's probably like my first or second video on YouTube ever, right? Probably like my first or second video on YouTube ever, right? And what we're going to be taking a look at here, is how many Satoshis I was able to acquire at this time, okay? We're going to see how many Satoshis I'll put. What's that? Put about 20, 21, 22, about 23. Oh, hold on. There we go, right there. There we go. Let's zoom into that real quick. zoom in, y'all. So I spent $23. I was at, and look at the price. Look, well, that wasn't the price because you know the rate is always higher than the price. But when I made this video, Bitcoin was trading at $3,178. I've been here for a while, yo. I'm not new. I'm not new. All right. So I spent $20. That's my old address too. You can dox it. Old address. But I spent $20, and it got me 723,530 satoshis. All right, let's do the math. You gotta understand. I've been trying to show people how to get into this shit since it was under $1,000. People laughed at me. Haha, Bitcoin's not going anywhere. The bank's gonna shut that down. The government's gonna shut that down. The president's gonna shut that down. That's what they was telling me when I made this video right here. That's what they was telling me when I made this video. When I spent this $23 to get 723,530 satoshis at a rate of $3,178, Bitcoin right now trading at $108,000, I was laughed at. Especially the streets. They were like, "This nigga's crazy. Like, we don't know what for on eat." Then went plumb nuts. All right, so we got 723,000. Let's do the math. That $20, that $23 that I spent in that video. Oh, hold on. There we go. That $23 that I spent in that video. What was it? 723,350 satoshis. 723,350 satoshis is now $788. $788. Is it muffled? Is the audio getting muffled? Somebody said my muffled is going in and out on YouTube. So what do we see here? Bitcoin is the better savings account. What wallet has satoshis though? What you mean? Every wallet. All satoshis is a smaller denomination of Bitcoin. Satoshi is not different than Bitcoin. Anything under 1 BTC is a Satoshi. Even 1 BTC is a Satoshi. What y'all got to understand is that Satoshi is just a small denomination of Bitcoin. No different than a penny is a small denomination of $1. Just like it takes 100 pennies to make $1, so $1 ain't nothing but 100 pennies. It takes 100 million Satoshis to make 1 Bitcoin, so a Bitcoin ain't nothing but 100 million Satoshis. So don't think it's anything separate. You can download a Trust wallet, buy Bitcoin at the ATM like I did, and have it sent over there. You got your Satoshis in your wallet. All right. So this is just this was a real life example of what $20 here and there can make the difference, right? For those that have the mindset that I have, you know what I mean, as far as BTC being that main reserve, right? That's why you see this man right here buying as much Bitcoin as he can, buying as much as he possibly can. Right? And this is why I tell people all the time, like, all your tools and fuse, right? In fact, I'm almost done with this book, From Vices to Investments. I'm almost done with my book. And in the book, I'm basically talking about how you can take negative vices, smoking, drinking, eating unhealthy, and change it into investments. I'm almost done with the book because people need that. Because everybody got a little bit of untapped capital. They're just using it for something that they really don't need or something that they may be able to cut back on. You get what I'm saying? So that book is coming soon. I'm working on like 3 books right now. I'm working on, let me see. Vices to Investment, the 44 Laws of Crypto. Oh, yeah, in my Time and Energy book. But anyways, the latest Bitcoin acquisition follows Strategy's announcement of a $1 billion stock offering, which quadrupled its previous announcement of a $250 million raise. The company plans to use the proceeds to fund additional Bitcoin acquisitions and corporate expenses. The stock offering issued 11.76 million shares of Strategy's 10% Series A perpetual Stride preferred stock for $85 per share, following the deduction of expenses from underwriting and other dues. The firm expects to raise about $979 million. You looking forward to the book? Thank you, D-Love. Oh, yeah, hey, these books gonna be something crazy. You know, it's coming from my mind. So what he's doing is he's raising capital. What can you do to raise extra money? right? What can you do to bring some type of extra source of income into the household, right? What I'm looking to do, I'm looking to hold a class in Chicago where I can show people how to acquire crypto for free, doing things they do on an everyday basis, right? Some of it costs money, some of it don't. But there's a way where you can accumulate, like right now, the internet that I'm using. I'm getting paid to use the internet. The phone service I'm using, I'm getting paid to use the phone. All that capital could be rolled right over into Bitcoin. You get what I mean? It's a strategy. It's a strategy. Now, it goes on to state, unlike previous fundraising rounds, this offering provides non-cumulative dividends of 10%, designed to appeal to institutional and professional investors seeking yield-generating opportunities. Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, began accumulating Bitcoin in August of 2020. Look how late he was. Look how early I was. Look how late he is. And look at how hard he's going. You know why he's going so hard? Because he knows that he's fucking late. See, people come in late like, oh, I'm a tiptoe and I'm a penny pinch and bullshit around with it, right? He understands. This shit ain't gonna do nothing but keep getting more expensive. See, this the mind fuck right here, yo. This the mind fuck right here. All y'all want Bitcoin to go up. You do know as Bitcoin goes up, you can get less of it, right? You do understand that, right? I wonder what happened, Bruce. Because I've signed up on my own about 80 people, and all 80 of them are using it because I got the referral from all of them. I think on my one phone, let me see how many referrals I got on this one. I don't think I got a lot on this one. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. So I got more than one. I got more than one running at any given time. So let me see. How many referrals do I have? So right now on this one, I've made about $165 in referrals, right? 8 qualified out of the 15 that signed up. That's on that phone. Something with the eSIM, interesting. Yeah, that old school ATM video is a classic. And that's kind of my proof of work. When people, ask like, well, how do you know and why do you feel? That's my proof of work. I've been here before I even thought really about $100,000 Bitcoin. Before I understood what I knew now, I was here. I was here when I really didn't understand it. You get what I mean? Me creating that YouTube channel actually helped me learn more about Bitcoin because I had to learn more information in order to bring more information. Yeah, the hotspots are printing money. If anybody's in Chicago, they got somewhere we can set up some of these hotspots, right? We can break bread, especially if you got a large apartment building, or if you got like a cafe or something like that, right? We can set up one of these hotspot miners in your spot and let people use it. No doubt. I appreciate that, JR. I appreciate that. He said, much appreciation, Bully. Major respect and power to you. Thank you for all the priceless information and generational investing mindset you shared over the years. Serious business. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, right? It ain't about selling 1,000 courses. It's about how many people's lives can I change just with the information that I bring. You ain't got to pay me for shit. You ain't got to sign up for one class. I give enough information on my page to last people 1 million years, or make people $1 million rather. Let me say that. I share enough information on my YouTube and Instagram to make people $1 million. You in Chicago, Bruce? Bruce, you in Chicago? Nah, it doesn't have its own hotspot. You're gonna plug it up to your already existing Wi-Fi. So I pay for a $50 monthly. $45. I pay. Yeah, I pay $45 for a monthly internet service, but I don't use it. I plug up my hotspot to it, and I use the hotspot so I can mine. So it's basically like me paying $45 a month to mine cryptocurrency. You get it? Now we're talking about the helium hotspots. The real. Oh, this MetaMask. My man's MetaMask. Hey, text me. I still got the 4444. Text me. All right. All right, get into the next story. BlackRock accumulating ETH. BlackRock accumulating Ethereum. Man, right now, what y'all not understanding and what y'all really is missing, right? Oh, yeah, them Brother Rich classes were blueprints, real life blueprints. My man said he's still digesting it. He's only 3 hours in. How long was that last class? 6 hours? 5 hours? I don't even remember. 7 hours? How long was that last class we did? Yeah, I got some historic 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hour, 8 hour classes. Yeah, no, DM me your number. DM me your number and I'm going to text you. It's 7 to 8 hours? Okay, 7 to 8 hours. Okay, so the last class we did was 7 to 8 hours. God damn. If that ain't putting your all into it, I don't know what is. Right? Soy Free says Michael Saylor be lying a lot, misleading the public. Hey, what he can't mislead the public about is how much Bitcoin he's buying. It's all on chain. Anything else he's doing, I care not for. Anything else he's doing, I care not for. I can look on chain and see how much Bitcoin he's buying. That's all that matters to me, Soy Free. Now, what BlackRock is doing, right? It goes on to state that rising futures open interest, robust spot ETF flows, and bullish technical analysis indicator forecast an Ethereum price rally to $3,000. Now, that's really not too hard to do. In fact, that's been our target for a while now. If you look at the golden ratio and where we're at now, which is just now reaching that 50% mark again. We've been here before. We've rejected each time. 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth time. We'll see if fourth time's a charm. You do have what appears to be a double bottom based off this last rally, right? This last rally, which is kind of a fake out if you look at it, right? I was expecting more downside, at least down to the 50-day exponential, which it actually kind of did come down to the 50 exponential if you look at it. It kind of did, right? But now we're right back to square one where we left off at. We need to get a closure above 2740 in order to see our next mark. What's our next mark? $3,038. $3,038. You see, this ain't that hard to do. Try to look at that. So yeah, we broke out of this channel up here too. But it's not hard to technical analysis. No, not technical analysis. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is price predicting. There we go. Price prediction ain't hard when you understand technical analysis. This is why I push everybody to learn TA. That way you ain't got to ask me. You ain't got to ask the next man. You ain't got to watch YouTube videos. I mean, you can just for extra added info, but you yourself should be able to go out and learn how to fish, right? You should be able to have some type of inkling of what's going to happen with price on your own based off of you understanding technical analysis, right? Just my opinion. There we go. My apologies. So yeah, let's say a $3,000 ETH. Shit, I'm saying if we can get above 2740, $3,000 ETH. You know what I'm saying? So what's the difference here? Let's see what they're talking about. ETH futures open interest has surged 40% in 30 days, while the spot ETH ETFs marked 4 consecutive weeks of inflows. Each Gaussian channel indicator suggests, are they using the Gaussian channel? Let me see, do I got the Gaussian channel on here? Let's see. Do I have the Gaussian channel on here? I do. Let's turn everything else off. Let me see. Where are we at on the weekly here? So yeah, the weekly puts you about $2,900. If we can break that, it puts you about $3,500. So they're using the Gaussian channel. I wonder on what time frame they're using it. Because we're at resistance right now. If you look at it, you're at resistance on a weekly. What is that, a weekly? Well, you're close to the weekly. At resistance on the 5-day. You are, where we at on the 3-day on the Gaussian channel. Just bounced off support. Look at that. You had the resistance, just bounced off of it. Top of the Gaussian channel is $2,900. So the top of the Gaussian channel is $2,900 on Ethereum. On the 2-day, what are we looking at? We should be breaking it. Yeah, so 2-day, you tested the top of the Gaussian channel. You tested the top of it. So they're using GC. They're using the Gaussian channel, which we've turned green back here around May 16th. Around May 16th. Okay. All right. So I see what they're using. The Gaussian channel indicator suggests a rally to 3,100 to 3,600 could occur. Ethereum's native token ETH has consolidated between 23 and 2,800 for the past 30 days. But this sideways phase could be coming to an end. The 4-hour chart shows ETH retaining support from the 200-day exponential moving average, and the price is forming a hidden bullish divergence with the relative strength index. A hidden bullish divergence occurs when the price forms higher lows, while the indicator, like the RSI, forms a lower low, signaling a trend breakout. Let's go and take a look. Put this on the 4-hour. Let's take the Gaussian channel off. Hold on. Take the moon cycle off. Take the Gaussian channel off. Let me turn on my 200-day exponential because it said they're using the 2. For some reason, the indicator, they're doing some type of maintenance on trading view. So it's not letting me look at a lot of things. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at what they're talking about here. So they're on a 4-hour. They're saying that they see hidden bullish divergence. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, I see what they're looking at. I see what they're looking. So they're looking right here, right? Look right here. One. Let me see, where was this one at? That was there. Yeah. So they're saying basically, if you look here, hold on. Let me get rid of all this. Let me just clear this chart up. There we go. We're going to start off butt naked, brand new. All right. So now we look at the different higher lows, right, on price. Right? Right there. And then we take a look at the trend from each one, right? But then if you mark off those same lows on the RSI, you do have lower lows. Right? So they're identifying hidden bullish divergence, which is something that we covered. I just did a 4-week technical analysis boot camp, which is available if individuals are interested. The recordings, that is, where we covered divergences, bullish and bearish divergences, right? And it did give you the mark that you're looking for, but now you got to break through this top right here. Now what you got to do is you got to break through this top right here, right? So now we would measure, let's measure the range in which this is consolidated in, something like this, right? And then what you do is you take that measurement, right, from top to bottom, like so. And then you take that measurement, you put it on top of the breakout. That means you got to break out and get on top of this red line. That gives us a breakout target of $3,145. Let me mark that off. There we go. So that's what we're looking at. Well, that's what I'm looking at. Let me keep it on the eye. Once again, y'all, just as a disclaimer, this is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, hell yeah, you can look at it. You can look at the purchases. Coinbase is not word is Coinbase is the custodian. He's been said Coinbase was the custodian. 100%. So yeah, we're looking at 3150 to the upside. 3150 to the upside is the target upon a breakout on Ethereum. Okay? Now, what we're looking at here is we need ETH to close right above like 2750 and then get some support above that level, right? And then get some support right above that level. All right? That's what we're looking for on ETH. Now, let's get back to see what they're saying moving forward, Ethereum futures open interest data from CoinGlass shows a 40% increase to 36 billion from 26 billion over the last 30 days, reflecting growing trader confidence amid price consolidation, a pattern that trends to precede breakouts. Remember, that consolidation is that sideways, get everybody boring, get everybody knocked out of their positions. You know what I'm saying? The spot Ethereum exchange-traded funds marked their fourth straight week of net inflows, adding 97,000, 8,000 ETH, pushing total holdings to 3.77 million ETH. Meanwhile, BlackRock is quietly amassing Ether, holding about 1.5 million ETH. So they got about $2.7 billion worth of Ether in custody, tokenizing assets on chain. This asset management firm has brought 500 million in Ether over the past 10 days. They spent about 500 million over the past 10 days. Nothing too big, reflecting institutional conviction in the altcoin, despite its price being 48% below its all-time high. Remember that class that I held last year, or maybe the year before that? I think it was last year, called Playing the All-Time High. You should check that class out. Okay? It goes on to state, Cointelegraph reported that Ether-based investment products led inflows among crypto exchange-traded funds last week, attracting 296 million, despite a market slowdown as investors awaiting regulatory clarity from the U.S. Federal Reserve. This marks the 7th consecutive week of inflows, the best since U.S. President Donald Trump's 2024 election victory, with Ether ETPs now comprising over 10.5% of total crypto ETP assets under management. CoinShares also noted a significant recovery in investor sentiment. ETH price is back also above the midline of the Gaussian channel, a dynamic market trend indicator. The Gaussian or normal distribution channel plots price movements within a dynamic range, adapting to market volatility. Historically, rallies have occurred when Ethereum surpasses its Gaussian channel midline. For instance, in 2023, Ether soared 93% to $4,000 following a successful crossover, while in 2020, it skyrocketed 1,820%. With ETH stabilizing above this key indicator at 2,570, technical analysts predict a potential push towards 3,100 to 3,600 if the momentum holds. That's like a $500 range, supported by channel's historical accuracy in forecasting short-term gains. Now, what I want to take a look at, let me see. Let's see what the options are going for right now. And let's see what their strike price is. So over the next 7 days, strike price is 2,900. If we run this out over the next 90 days, strike price is 3,200. And 60 days, you're looking at 3,150. And if you just want to do a month worth of contracts, you're looking at $3,000. So right now, in order to buy one full ETH option contract with a strike price of $3,000 for the next 30 days, it'll cost you $310. Yeah, true, MetaMaster. True. All right. Now, moving right along. Wait, no, that's not what I want. There we go. CoinDesk 20 performance update. Uniswap surges 21% as index climbed higher. Now, I'm going to tell you what's interesting about this. This is when did this come out? This came out June 10th, today. Hey, for those that are part of the New Money Matrix Discord, what did I literally just tell y'all yesterday? I think it was. Wasn't it yesterday when I said that? Let's take a look. Hold on. Wasn't that yesterday when I told y'all that? Let me see. There it is right there. 2 days ago. What did I tell y'all? Wow, look at the 444 too. Look at the signs and symbols. 444. What did I tell y'all on the 8th at 9:59 a.m.? What did I say? Keep y'all eyes on Uni this year. Didn't I say that? So 2 days ago, I told y'all, keep your eyes on Uniswap. Hey, you can't beat the information given in this New Money Matrix Discord. You cannot beat the information. We ahead of the game. We literally stay ahead of the game. Let's take a look at Uni real quick. Has it broken its trend? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Wow. And straight to the target. Look at this. Look at this. I damn near want to go look at that last video I did. Because I'm talking about, I called this to the fucking T. Look at the breakout. Look at the target. Let me find that video real quick. Man, I literally called that to the T. Hopefully, for those who are part of the New Money Matrix Discord, y'all was able to take advantage. Let me go look at the last video I did on Uni. Let me see. That was on the 8th, right? So that's the 3rd. That's the 6th. This is the 8th. This is the video from the 8th, right? This is the video from the 8th right here. Where's my, here we go, right here. So here's my analysis on Uni. Look where Uniswap was trading at. $6.34. Watch this analysis. Just watch this analysis, yo. Watch this analysis in real time. And then we're gonna look at the results. We're gonna look at the results. So what you're seeing is me do a technical analysis 2 days ago on the 8th on Uniswap, trading at $6.34. Now pay attention. So I make my first breakout target right there. I make my first breakout target, second breakout target, in case we break to the downside. Right? 435 to the downside and 820 to the upside. This was my target 2 days ago when I was doing the technical analysis on this coin, trading at $6.35. And these are the type of videos that I make for my private Discord. You can see it was dropped 2 days ago, 9:46 a.m., right? 2 days ago, 9:46 a.m. So as soon as I dropped that video, that was 9:46 a.m. This was 9:59 a.m. when I told them, keep y'all eyes on Uni, right? You see the 444 right there. Signs and symbols for the conscious mind, right? You see that. Then we come back and we take a look. Look where you at right now. Let me see. What was the high here? Come on, man. Look at that. A perfect breakout. Perfect breakout to the target. Come on, man. This shit feel like hitting a run when I used to be in the streets. Anyways, it goes on to state. Where we at? Hold on. What are the top gainers here? Uni and Aave. What I always tell y'all about Aave. Who can tell me what I usually say about Aave? Who knows what Aave is? Who knows what Aave is to the future of our finances? Who knows what Aave is to the future of our finances? JP Morgan, there you go. That's the future JP Morgan. There you go. Now, if you don't know, right, Unichain is actually doing an airdrop. They got an airdrop coming up. Not only do they have an airdrop coming up, they created their own layer. So remember, Uniswap was the first platform to give us an airdrop. I think I got in total. Well, I ain't gonna say what I got in total. Just know that each airdrop was about $4,500 to $5,000. $4,500 to $5,000, if I'm not mistaken. Is there anybody in the chat right now that received that Uniswap airdrop that can back up what I'm saying? Nah, Aave is AAVE. That's the bank. That's where we borrow money. That's where we go borrow money from. That's where we issue credit. Anybody in the chat right now that got that Uniswap airdrop that can back up what I'm saying? Of us getting, I think it was between $45,000 to $5,000. You got $1,200 from Uniswap? Okay, Jordan said he got $1,200. The Reefer Empire said, I got it. Right? So this was the first project that gave away free money. Right? 400 uni. 400 uni. First project that gave away free money. Now what they did is they built their own chain and built it on Super Chain. Right? This is going to be the new home of DeFi. The interest rates over there are beautiful. The upcoming airdrop is so we got the first airdrop. They're doing another airdrop for their chain because they got their own chain, which means they got their own projects. So I'm going to be holding a class this Friday, walking y'all through how to get involved in this chain and these projects. Okay? Yeah, definitely a utility run. Definitely a utility run. So this Friday, what you want to do is join my Block Wall Street class Discord so you can get access to all my classes, future and past. If you're not part of this Discord, it's free to join. Send me an email, blockwallstreetwork@proton.me, blockwallstreetwork@proton.me, in order to get access to the free Discord so you can sign up for my upcoming classes. But this class we're holding this Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, we're going to be covering Uniswap. All right. Man, that's one hell of a move. So now let's see what a continuation move would look like. Now that we got the breakout, now that we have the breakout, we see where we're at relative. Okay, so that breakout, oh my God, come on, man. It can't be real. It can't be that. Look, I'm talking about a break straight to the 618. That breakout target was a 61.8% correction. Look at how on point that is. Crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. All right, so since we're already there, what we'll do is we'll raise to the next previous high. And that puts us where? Right below that 382. So now what we're looking at on Uniswap, in my humble opinion, from a technical analysis standpoint, as long as you're holding above $7.05, target is 866. Once you're able to get inside, right? Let me open this up for y'all. Let me get rid of this right here. Let me open this up for everybody so we can see. Right? This is my analysis on Uniswap. If you want to learn how to do technical analysis, all you got to do is reach out. I do got recorded past classes, or we can get on a one-on-one and I can show you here, step by step how to utilize this strategy. So what we're doing now, as long as we're holding $7.05, targets for me are 860, 980, and 1111. Wow, look at those angel numbers. 1111. 1111. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're coming up on our hour mark. We're coming up on our hour mark. I appreciate everybody that was able to tap in, tune in. Hopefully you was able to take notes. This will be recorded. You can view it again on YouTube. You can view it again on Instagram. Be on the lookout for the next live. Be on the next lookout for upcoming classes. Like I said, if you need one-on-one help, don't go out there and bullshit around with these other people, man. Come get it from the source. Come get it from somebody that lives, breathes, eats, and this crypto life. You know what I'm saying? Go get the real info. Let me show you how to set yourself up for generational wealth. With that being said, we go ahead and get out of here. To the next one, peace, power, prosperity, family. I am gone.